What's going on, 8th graders? It's another week into our online learning experience, and we just got to keep moving forward and forward. The speed is going to keep picking up from here, but that's okay because I'm here to post another video for you so that way we can help figure out what we're doing and make things a little bit more explicit. So this week, we're going to be talking about our exponent laws, and I've got a couple different videos that are go forward with that. But this time, for this specific exponent laws video, we're going to be talking about what happens when we multiply exponents, and also what happens when we divide exponents. So without further ado, let's get to the video.
All right, 8th grade. This week we are going to be talking about the exponent laws, and this is just part one of our video because there are many more exponent laws that we will be talking about next week. So, our first exponent law that we're talking about essentially is saying when we have the same base of our exponents, we can just add them together. When we have the same base and we are multiplying, sorry. Because it's essentially like they just described down here. If you are putting everything out there and multiplying it all together, it's already the same base. So you should be able to just add them together and it's the same quantity. So let's do a couple of example problems. So in this first one, I have 14 to the 23rd times 14 to the 8th power. This would be the same thing as me writing 14 times 14 23 times and then writing it 8 more times. If I were just to add those together, I know that I would have 14 to the 30, that doesn't look like 3 to the 31st power because there would be 31 14s there. So for exercise 2, I know that I need to keep my same base of negative 72. Throw that in parentheses. 10th power, 13th power, I see that I'm multiplying things together. So I add my exponents together and I get to the 23rd power. Exercise 3, I need to keep my same base. 5, 94 plus 78. Well, let's see. 94 plus 78 is in fact 172. So this is 5 to the 172nd power. And exercise 4, I need to keep my same base of negative 3. And I have 9 and 5, so that gives me to the 14th power. Moving on. So now I have a couple different things being put forward. So I have 6 to the 5th. I'm starting up here at exercise 11. I have 6 to the 5th times 4 to the 9th times 4 to the 3rd times 6 to the 14th. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange things so that way I can have my same numbers together. So I'm going to have, let's see, 6 to the 5th times 6 to the 14th. That looks like a horrible 14. Times 4 to the 9th times 4 to the 3rd. So when I break this all down, I'm going to have 6 to the 19th times 4 to the 12th. I cannot combine these two into one quantity because I have two separate bases. Therefore, I need to leave them as two separate bases. So what I'm going to do now, or for this next one, is I'm just going to highlight, maybe make things a little bit easier, save me some space, especially for the people who like color. This is going to be really nice for you. So I'm going to highlight my bases that are the same, and I'm going to combine my exponents together. So I'm going to have negative 4 to the 5th power times 17 to the 12th power. And that's going to be my answer there. Exercise 16 is a little tricky though, because I have 5 to the 4th times 2 to the 11th. Well, there's nothing that I can do to make my bases 5 and 2 to be the same thing. So therefore, there is no answer, or I cannot simplify it. Cannot be simplified. Not the same bases. And then let's try exercise 17. Let x be a number. Rewrite the expression in a simpler form. So I have 2x to the 3rd times 17x to the 7th. So again, all of these things are being multiplied together. When I have 2x right next to each other, that's the same thing as saying 2 times x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these numbers apart and show their multiplication signs. So I'm going to have 2 times x to the third times 17 times x to the seventh. And now I can go back to highlighting. So I have these constants. Those constants can be multiplied together. And then I have my exponents. So this simplifies. 2 times 17 is 34. And then I have my same bases of x to the 10th power. So my final answer is 34, x to the 10th power. So that's our first exponent law. When I have the same base and I'm multiplying, I can add my exponents together. Now I'm on to my second exponent law. So in general, if x is non-zero and mn are positive integers, then essentially when I am dividing by the same base, I can subtract my exponents. So this is important to know. So let's put this into action. When I'm dividing by the same base, I am subtracting my exponents. So for the first one, I have 7 to the ninth divided by 7 to the sixth. So I know I have my same base of 7. And 9 minus 6 is 3. And that's it. For exercise 22, I keep my same base of negative 5. 16 minus 7 is in fact 9. So negative 5 to the ninth power is the correct answer. Exercise 23 is a little different because I have a fraction as a base, but that doesn't change anything. I keep that fractional base. So I have 8/5. 9 minus 2 is 7. And then for exercise 24, 13 to the fifth divided by 13 to the fourth, well, that's 13 to the first power, which is the same thing as 13. So let's move on to one more slide. Let x be a non-zero number. So x's, variables, fractions, numbers, they are all fine to have as bases. So just because I have x's here doesn't mean I should change anything that I've done so far. I have the same base of x, so what I can do is keep my same base of x, and then 5 minus 4 is 1. So that's the same thing as just x. So let's try a challenge problem. So let x be a number. Write each expression in a simpler form. So what I'm going to do, I know that this is 5 over x to the third times 3x to the 8th power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this in an equivalent form over x to the third. Okay, this is representing the same thing. So I have my constants, numbers without any variables there, and then I have my variables. So what I'm going to do, I know x to the 8th minus x to the third. Well, that's just going to be x to the 5th. And I know that 5 times 3 gives me 15. So my final answer is 15, x to the 5th. Okay? So I want to go ahead and thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. You can message me on Schoology, you can email me. But until next time, have a great day.